Do you ever see or hear about extreme examples of minimalism? Perhaps it's examples of people who fit all of their items in a backpack, or live in a tiny house, or have fewer than 100 items, or something like that. Perhaps you yourself have desired to live like this, or maybe you actually do, or you know someone who does. While there is nothing inherently wrong about extreme minimalism, I do think it can be problematic, and we're going to talk about some of the ways it is in this video. Hello and welcome to Abundantly Minimal. My name is Sarah, and thank you for joining me for today's video about extreme minimalism and the Minimalist Continuum. I thought I'd switch it up a little bit. It's such a nice day outside here that I wanted to get outside. Hopefully the audio and lighting works okay as well, just given that it is a new setup, but it is lovely. I'm just on the patio of our condo right now. And I'm really motivated to talk about extreme minimalism today just because one of my frustrations being within the minimalist community is that unfortunately sometimes the most extreme messages are the ones that get shared the loudest. Although it's wonderful for people who do live more of an extreme minimalist lifestyle and it works for them to share this message, I don't think extreme minimalism is something that everyone should be shooting for and that everyone should be trying to attain. Here at Abundantly Minimal, we practice a really moderate minimalist lifestyle. It's not extreme by any means, but it works really well for us, and I think it's also something that others can easily attain if it is something they're looking for. Extreme minimalism is a lot more difficult, especially considering all the factors of life that determine how many items we have, such as where we live, what the weather is there, what our job is, what our family situation is, what our interests are. These different things that vary for all of us also determine how much stuff that is essential to us. I first want to bring up the concept of the minimalist continuum. Minimalism is something that can be placed along a continuum. On one side of the continuum is extreme minimalism, having only the absolute essentials to be able to survive. On the other hand, we can think about the opposite of that, having way more than one needs and having pretty much the maximum number of things possible. When we are trying to simplify our lives, many of us start out closer to the side that has more than we actually need, and many of us desire to go closer to that extreme minimalist side, but not necessarily getting all the way there. Rather than having the goal of getting down to a certain number of items, a lot of us crave some of the benefits that come from owning less. More freedom, less to clean, less worry, more time devoted to things we care about rather than maintaining our stuff. There's so many different benefits that can be gained, and if we are able to shift ourselves further along the continuum towards simplicity, that is ultimately going to be what helps us live our best life. Where does one essentially stop along the continuum? That really depends, and I think it's something that you have to figure out as you continue to simplify. Well, I would say decluttering will never stop completely, as there are continually new things that we bring into our space here and there, as well as new changes that happen in our lives that also change the amount of stuff that we need, whether that's more or less. There's not one exact right answer for everyone. You also might find that decluttering slows down a lot, almost to a stop, and maybe that's an approximate stopping point for many people, but it will likely never be, okay, I stopped officially, I will never declutter something again. Part of the reason I bring up the idea of the minimalist continuum is that I think a lot of people assume that minimalism has to be extreme, that the only true minimalists are those who are on that really far end of the spectrum, living with only the absolute essentials to survive. I would love to help change that message and to show that a moderate version of minimalism can still be so powerful and can still give you all of the benefits. In fact, I think that can be motivating to people to know that you don't have to live an extreme lifestyle to be able to get some of these benefits. However, unfortunately, sometimes the extreme examples are the examples that are told the loudest. No matter what type of media we consume, in general, we often see the extreme cases that are being shared. Even within the minimalism community on YouTube itself, we're more likely to see videos do well with extreme examples of decluttering, huge numbers of items that were dealt with. We might see examples of people who don't have furniture or who have managed to reduce their belongings down to just a few small number of items. This might be very interesting to us, which also leads us to be more likely to watch these videos, but it also can lead us with some unrealistic expectations. Not everyone can or wants to live like that. I think there are a few myths that we need to keep in mind. First of all, there is not a certain number of items you need to have to be a minimalist. You can have whatever items you choose to have or that are important to you. That ultimately is your choice that you get to decide. There is not a certain type of lifestyle that you have to have. Anyone practicing any lifestyle can benefit from incorporating minimalism into their life, and it's going to look different for lots of different people. Finally, we also have to remember that people who convey themselves as extreme minimalists may not actually be as extreme as one can believe. With many different areas of life, it is very easy on different public platforms such as social media or YouTube for one to exaggerate their situation or hide other elements. When someone's making a video or showing a post on social media, you don't know the full story, and there are definitely ways that different parts of their life can be hidden or exaggerated for the sake of a video or a video thumbnail or the post on Instagram, Facebook, etc. We obviously know the full story of our own lives. We see the behind the scenes that's not as pretty to share. And if we fall down the path of trying to compare ourselves to others, it ultimately might make us feel less positive about ourselves or our own progress. It's really important to remember that we are on our own journey. These are just a few of my thoughts about extreme minimalism and the Minimalist Continuum, but I'd love to hear from you. Where do you currently find yourself along the Minimalist Continuum? Are you where you want to be, or would you like to continue simplifying more? Is there a certain goal you have in mind? Would you ever want to be an extreme minimalist? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like other moderate minimalism types of videos, you'll definitely want to subscribe to the channel. And I also have a couple other videos you might enjoy here as well. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.